Hello everyone, welcome back, and today we are going to be taking a look at McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Earth 22 Robin. So before we get started, I just want to say these guys do not come with a whole lot of accessories. They just come with the chain that you see right here. They come with a little circular stand and a card, and that's it. So these guys here, I picked this one up. I ended up getting for free over at GameStop because I had the power rewards, so that worked out to my benefit. This guy over here, I ended up picking up at the mall. Now, I didn't even know these guys existed until I happened to see this guy here. I picked him up, and I didn't even realize that there was actually 3 of these guys. Now, I guess there's 3 of these Robins. So this is the one that laughs, this is the one that screams, and then there's supposed to be a grinning one. I have not seen him. So maybe I'll find him, and if I do, I'll pick him up. That way I can have all 3 of them. Because I don't know if any of you watched the Batman Who Laughs with Wings that I did that live review along with the Batman Flashpoint. If you haven't, go check it out. It was actually pretty good. All right, so with this guy here, well, with both of these guys here, I should say, once again, I love their paint deco that's on them, and their detail is just fantastic. Their look is great. I like that Jokerized look, except for they took it a step further with this, straight from the comic. And when they brought these guys here to life, so to speak, they actually captured that crazed demonic look, just like the Superman, the infected Superman. I did a review on that one as well, so if you get a chance, go back and check that one out also. And that was the reason why I picked up that infected Superman, was because of just that Joker look to him, and the way that they look just so demonic, so creepy. I mean, it's just, I think they're really, really cool. So anyway, the detail in these guys, in their face, and the sculpt all the way around is fantastic. That's the pro. The cons, the articulation with the McFarlane figures, the articulations aren't always the best. But these guys, they're all right. They're good, I mean, for what you have. So let me not just keep rambling on about all that nonsense. Let's take a look. So this guy here is the one that laughs. So let's get up close here so you can actually get a good look. Look at his face sculpt. I mean, that right there is just, I mean, it's crazy. The green wash in the hair, I mean, that's great. That is so, so great. The way they did that brushing right there. And he looks really, really good. I mean, the mask, you know, the way it's in the shape of a bat going across his eyes. There are no pupils. The eyes are just completely white. The pale skin. The Eddie Munster ears. That's what this guy reminds me of, is just like a crazed Eddie Munster a little bit. But I mean, look at the detail inside the mouth. You can see his tongue. Those teeth. Very vampirial-like. And the way they have the red that kind of just smudges on his face. The way as it would on the Joker's. So, I mean, the paint, as you can see, comes down. You know, it's all white on the neck. It's kind of like an off-white on the skin color. Now, as far as the suit, this suit is the original Robin. From back in the comics, or in the 50s TV show, you know, the little shorts, the whole like upper top with the collar on the uniform. and the little tiny cape. This is not the Tim Drake or the Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne. Jeez Louise. Outfit. As you can see, he has the little, you know, like his gloves. He doesn't have the gauntlets on the sides the way that the newer ones do. They're green, along with the little tiny, you know, these shorts that he has. And then once again, down here to the skin where it looks like it's kind of rotted, but it's not. It's just the infection, I guess, going through his body. I mean, look at it on the calves. That's just crazy detail. And then, of course, he has his Keebler Elf shoes on. He's not wearing boots. I mean, these, I guess, are boots. They're Keebler Elf boots. That's what I always referred him to from the original Robin. And then you have this chain here, which this chain here is, as you can hear, it's a plastic chain, and it clips to this on his neck, which I guess there's a collar that goes around, not here, not on this figure, but I guess that's the way it's supposed to be in a comic. So this guy here, as you can see, he has a total different look than this guy back here. So let me just stand him back up. Now this guy is the Earth 22 Robin with the screaming face. So he's screaming, and as you can see, the detail on this guy right here, as far as all this red, you know, from the makeup on his face. And of course, he has those sharp like vampire teeth, along with that bat mask going over the eyes. I mean, and of course, as you can see, the hair sculpt is totally different than the other one in the back, but they did some really nice green wash on this to go with the black hair, so that way you get that Joker, wonderful Joker-rized look. Ooh, that Joker. And then he has his Eddie Munster ears. You know, the bodies are the same. That is the one thing I can honestly say. The body styles are the same on all three of these guys. So if you don't want to buy all three, that's all well and good. Maybe that's not for you. I mean, it would have been cool if they would have just had the one with it, you know, interchangeable heads, but they didn't. So moving on with that, eventually I'll find the grinning one and I'll end up picking him up. These guys are cool. I really like them. I think that they that McFarlane Toys did a really good job with these guys. This is probably it with this here. I won't pick up any other ones besides that grinning one to complete this trio. After that, I won't pick up any more McFarlane figures, because just their articulation is hindered when it comes to the legs. There's no thigh cuts or anything like that. That is the con. The pros, the sculpt. So let me start with the pros. The pros on this here, the sculpt is fantastic. The whole body style with the uniform, I like the way that they did it. I don't care for, as far as the cons, what I don't care for is the way that he is, you know, his shorts, they hinder the articulation when it comes to the legs up at the hip. He doesn't have a thigh cut, which would have been nice to have, and it would have been nice for him to have like a, not a bicep swivel, but a forearm swivel, and it would have been nice for him to have almost like a boot cut. And I understand he doesn't have any pants that go down, his legs are bare and whatever, and it might look kind of weird. But you would get some better articulation to where you can get these guys to kind of squat down into positions to where you can really get them to where they look like they're creating some sort of havoc. So just really quick, since I went over all the detail and the actual sculpt and everything, I just want to go over and say that this uniform on this guy here, it's almost like a rubber. This is almost like a rubber right here. It's a very soft type plastic, I should say. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's very, you know, you can move it around. And the same thing with the shorts, as you can see, it's a soft plastic. It's not molded plastic, which is actually very well done. And it's all kind of like the back of this cape. It's all soft plastic. And then you have, of course, like I said, the chain. And that's pretty much it when it comes down to the way that they did this guy. I mean, it's really cool that they did something different with this body style, as far as not making the legs molded where you would have a cut here. So the seam is actually underneath inside. Now, I've had this guy come apart, and he doesn't have an ab crunch. He has just the way this is built. This right in here connects to the bottom. It just kind of snaps together. It's almost like a T joint, and then the other is an opening, so they kind of snap in like this when they go in. So that's what you have there, but you do have this upper ab crunch, as you can see, that he can do, and he can bend, you know, he can actually go back about that far. And if I really, I don't know if you can see in here, to get a better look on the inside there, but it's not, there's no real body there. It's just like a joint mechanism in there. All right, so let's move on. Enough of that rambling. Okay, so I'm only going to show one of these guys as far as the articulation, because like I said, they're both the same. Everything's clean, and I know I forgot to mention that, you know, he has like this stitching right here as far as everything being clean. I mean, that little stitching that they put on there, it's really, really nice. No paint run over on the R or anything like that. You know, the lines in the costume right here are straight, and his belt, even for this being a molded plastic, you have a little bit at the bottom there, but nothing really crazy to write home about. Nothing that's really gonna stop you from liking this guy. So now that I covered that last little bit that I forgot about, which I apologize, let's go over the articulation. So let's start with the top of the head. All right, so the head can look up, can look down about that far. He can tilt. He has a good head tilt, so you can get some crazy looks out of him. His head only goes up about that high, like I said before, and then down about that far, because this right here is going to stop it. So I guess if you turn it, I mean, you're not going to really get much more out of it, because it does stop, and the neck really doesn't move in here. It doesn't move at all. So now moving down to the shoulders. His shoulders, they can go all the way out to a T. They go all the way around. All right. And with this guy here, you figured they would have made him with a double jointed elbow, but they didn't. They made him with a single jointed elbow, but you can get that far of a bend on him, which isn't bad. All right. You have a bicep swivel right there on him. And then you have, so his hands. So he does have a joint in here. I don't know if you guys can really see that. It's almost like a ball joint. And his hands, to get him to bend, the glove kind of hinders that movement. So you really can't get too much of a move, you know, a wrist bend. There you go. I got him to, it goes down this way with it. But to try to get him to go this way, well, it just made a liar out of me. It actually went. But the gloves do hinder that somewhat. Then you have, like I showed earlier, you have this torso bend. So you can actually get him to move that much on an ab crunch, which is insane to get him to move that far. As far as trying to get him in a dynamic pose, I mean, that's not too bad of a look if you want him all kind of hunched over. Let's see. Let me just see, because I never really tried, because of the simple fact that, you know, he is, like I said, the legs in here are limited as far as any type of real movement. It'll move, but not too much. And I know I stopped going over to show a little bit of a demonstration as far as, okay, so you can get them in a little pose like that. But as far as getting these legs to go out very far, whoops, not so much. So back to this here. And I would recommend holding here so he doesn't come apart. He can bend back that far and then come up. And then his leg, yeah, because these do stretch, you can, but as you can see, it goes right back down. And he has a single jointed knees. He has up in the waist right here, he has that swivel right there, that upper thigh swivel. He doesn't have a thigh swivel here. It's just, it's up here. Then you have his actual, down at his feet. Yes, he has a turn, not so much of a tilt. His foot can bend up that far. It can only bend back that far because of the fact of these boots are going to stop it as soon as you get to here. Now, as far as he has a toe hinge right here, which also works. But as far as, like I said, I mean, that's as far as you can get them with the legs. So overall, I just want to say on a scale of 1 out of 10, sculpt-wise, I give these guys an 11. As far as articulation, that ab crunch is crazy. I'll give them that. So with that ab crunch, I would say with the articulation on this guy, I'm going to give it about a 6. It's not going to stop me from picking up the other one or even putting these guys in my collection, but I will pose them the best way I can get them to pose. And that's how they're going to stay forever and ever on the shelf. They're a good add to the shelf, especially if you're a big DC Universe person. I'm not. I do like these guys only for that Jokerized demonic type look. I like the Joker. The Joker is one of my favorite villains. But as far as if these Robins didn't look like this, I would never have picked them up. And that's just me. That may not be you, but that is me. Now, as far as the Infected Superman, I apologize. The Infected Superman, I did a review on that. So if you actually go and watch that, you'll know how I feel about Superman. Yeah, as far as the McFarlane line, I mean, this is the best I have found besides that Superman. Everything else is kind of, for me anyways, I'm not knocking them. They do beautiful sculpts. I mean, if these guys were statues, I mean, it'd be fantastic. Figure-wise, you want to get them in dynamic poses, it's not going to happen. It would be really cool if McFarlane started doing that to where you could get these guys into some dynamic poses, because when it comes to the sculpt, they have it nailed, 110%. As far as the articulation, it needs a bit of work. And that's just my opinion here. I'm not trashing them whatsoever. That's just how I feel, because I spend my money on this. You know, at least this one, not this one, only because of the fact that I had those you know, the rewards through GameStop. That's how I was able to get this guy for free. Look, McFarlane puts out a great sculpt. Yes, it has articulation. Just for me, I have other figures that are better articulated, and I can get them to a lot better poses. And they, you know, I get a bigger bang for my buck out of those other ones. So I just want to say that's pretty much it for this review on these guys. I hope you all enjoyed the Earth 22 Robin review. Please, this is a small channel. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time I put up new videos. I'm trying to get new videos out more and more, but I do work for a living, so which therefore that kind of hinders, you know, when I can find time. So I'm trying to make a little bit more time available to do these, to get them out to you guys. I appreciate everybody who has shown love, plenty of love to this channel. And I just want to say one more thing. Everybody who actually got in on that giveaway, to the winner, One Only King, congratulations again to you. And with that being said, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you all on the flippity flip.